On the show, a UK government review report raises alarm over alleged radicalization of Muslims and pro-Khalistan groups operating in the United Kingdom. Details coming up. Too many slips between the cup and the lip. Watch how Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's elaborate state budget delivery was full of freebies and one huge blunder.
Sorry.
Sample India's first indigenous advanced unmanned aerial vehicle. It is set to make the public debut at the Aero India show in Bengaluru. India's mining ministry announces the discovery of nearly 6 million tons of lithium reserves in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi. Does this boost India's electric car hopes? And climate change is real. A Newcastle University study claims that 30 lakh Indians are at risk of flooding caused by the glacial lakes. This and more with a comprehensive view of India. Top Angle starts right here, right now. A review report by the UK government has raised alarm over alleged radicalization of Muslims and pro-Khalistan groups operating in Britain. As per the independent panel report, the extremist groups are provoking Muslims against India over the Jammu and Kashmir issue. The report highlights how Pakistan-backed clerics are radicalizing Muslims in the United Kingdom. It claims false anti-Indian narrative is being set up by pro-Khalistani groups operating in the United Kingdom. Alarmingly enough, it says extremist groups inflaming anti-India sentiments in the United Kingdom. And the report also says the radicalized groups are often seen calling for violence in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, this review report was part of the United Kingdom government's scheme that had been set up to prevent radicalization of young minds and terrorism. Meanwhile, India has urged the United Kingdom to increase vigil and take appropriate actions against these groups. The UK has been a hotbed as far as the pro-Khalistani movement is concerned. Apart from its demand for a separate state, these groups are notorious for fomenting anti-India sentiments. Moving on. It had all started with pomp and show. Rajasthan's Ashok Gehlot government had made elaborate plans for this year's budget presentation, from broadcasting it live in colleges and universities to state government bodies. But it wasn't meant to go as planned. Merely 8 minutes into the budget, a realization dawned upon the ruling Congress and Ashok Gehlot.
Sorry.
By now, the House had realized that Chief Minister Gehlot was reading last year's budget. It was enough fodder for the opposition. Within seconds, an uproar erupted. Members sat in the well of the assembly and acrimony overtook the proceedings. Now the chorus went up that the budget has been leaked. Now the House resumed after a 30-minute adjournment, but the opposition was unrelenting. Things calmed down only after Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot apologized for his error. Now remember, Rajasthan is going to polls this year. Hence, the budget looks more like an election manifesto, carefully curated with sops. And Ashok Gehlot, an astute politician as he is, did exactly what was expected of him. Call it raveries or freebies, the dole for poll politics was in full bloom in the Rajasthan Assembly. Let's now take a look at the dole list. We have listed 5 among the many that Ashok Gehlot announced. 100 units per month free electricity to domestic consumers as compared to 50 units per month earlier. Free power up to 2,000 units for 11 lakh farmers. Women will be given rupees 5,000 for sewing machines. Free bus travel for students up to 75 kilometers, and women to pay only half the fare in state roadways buses. Now, the Congress has often blamed both the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP for what it calls promoting Labh Bharti or the freebie politics. Now, with the elections due at the end of the year, even Congress too can't help but come up with a populist budget. Moving on, the deployment of drones in modern warfare has been a game changer. These are used not only for dropping death from above, but also for gathering invaluable aerial intelligence. India, however, has lagged far behind others when it comes to developing advanced UAVs. But all that is about to change as early as next week, because this coming week, making its public debut at the Aero India show in Bengaluru, will be the Tapas BH tactical aerial platform, India's first indigenous advanced unmanned aerial vehicle. Developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization, the Tapas BH UAV is primarily meant for strategic reconnaissance and surveillance. By July this year, another indigenously developed drone with offensive capabilities called Archer NG will undertake its first flight. Now, earlier called the Rustam 2, the Tapas BH drone has a maximum speed of 225 kilometers per hour with a 20.6 meter wingspan. It has a command range of 1,000 kilometers with satellite-based communication. The Tapas UAV is also capable of night flying and is now getting ready for formal user trial evaluation by the armed forces. Now, in today's battlefield, both the offensive and the defensive capabilities of UAVs are highly sought after. Recent flashpoints, such as the ongoing war in Russia-Ukraine, can well attest to that. For India, besides their operational utility, these indigenous drones will be much cheaper to make and distribute at a large scale. Take a look at this. Are the prices of electric vehicles, mobile phones, and other electronics-based goods set to fall? Well, that just might be the reality, seeing how India has found huge lithium deposits in Jammu and Kashmir. Nearly 6 million tons of lithium reserves have been discovered in the country. These are located in the Riyasi district in the Jammu region. The latest discovery of lithium deposits is significant, seeing how previously, in the year 2021, only a small lithium reserve was discovered in Karnataka's Mandya district. But if you're wondering what the big fuss is all about, and how the discovery of lithium might matter to you, listen closely. Now, lithium is a key component of batteries used in mobile phones as well as electric vehicles. Demand for lithium-ion batteries is soaring amid the global pivot from combustion engines to battery-powered electronic vehicles. India has increased its focus on electric mobility for both public and private transport in prime cities. But the problem is, India satisfies its major lithium needs from other countries. This new lithium discovery can be a catalyst for India to achieve its target of greater EV penetration by the year 2030. Now, with the wider automobile industry shifting to electronic vehicles, India's lithium discovery can help the economy meet its green growth targets, as outlined by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the budget. But there is still ways to go, since as of now, electronic vehicles account for only a little more than 1% of all the vehicle sales in the country. On the other hand, climate change is real, and its effects often accompany devastating consequences, from landslides, drought and forest fires to flash floods and even glacial lake outbursts. A recent study claims that 30 lakh Indians are at risk of flooding caused by glacial lakes. Even as it mourns the tragic loss of life in the aftermath of the devastating Turkey earthquake, the world is staring at another possible catastrophe. A study at UK's Newcastle University has estimated how 1.5 crore people around the world are at risk from flooding caused by glacial lake outbursts. Among them, 30 lakh Indians too are said to be at the receiving end of this potential catastrophe. Over the last 3 decades, a substantial decrease in global glacier mass has been observed in the same United Kingdom study. Glaciers serve as natural global warming indicators. These ancient mountains of ice are particularly sensitive to changes in the global climate. Now, for India, this includes towns and cities in states such as Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. On average, most residents who live in these mountain regions live closest to the glacial lakes. And in the event of an outburst, devastating floods might occur and the residents will be at maximum risk. So what is the actual risk that the report talks about? It says the glacial lakes can suddenly burst and create a massive flood over a large area. This can be highly destructive, causing damage to life and property. India and Pakistan have 5 million people in total exposed to this particular risk. Now, in the February of 2021, the flash floods in Uttarakhand's Chamoli were an eye-opener. And if these calamities are something to go by, then it's time that the world takes joint steps to tackle climate change. On that note, it's the end of this edition of Top Angle. Do check out incisive news analysis and cutting-edge documentaries streaming only on Newsline Plus. Thanks for watching.